Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Steve.
And I'm Scott.
Together, we're Backyard Musings, People's Republic of Kali Atzlan.
Yeah, and it's getting pretty bad out there. Again, if you're listening to us from California and you haven't voted on Prop 50 yet, please vote no. Do not support anything that our illustrious
Partisan
government
elected officials.
is trying to promote. It's a bunch of baloney. So here we go.
For billions of years, Earth's continents have stood firm, but scientists have only now uncovered how they achieve such enduring stability. A new study from Penn State and Columbia University shows that temperatures above 900 degrees Celsius deep within the planet's crust were essential for forging the continents. The intense heat caused radioactive elements like uranium and thorium to migrate upward, carrying heat away and allowing the lower crust to cool and solidify. The findings were published on October 13th, 2025 in Nature Geoscience. Would you like to know more?
For billions of years, Earth's continents have stood firm, forming the base for mountains, ecosystems, and human civilization. Yet scientists have been long puzzled over what makes them so enduring. Now, researchers from Penn State and Columbia University have uncovered the clearest explanation yet for this remarkable stability, and it all comes down to heat. The team showed that creating long-lasting continental crust required temperatures above 900 degrees Celsius, and I tried to kind of figure that out in Fahrenheit. What is that, about 2,700?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that about right, I think? Okay.
Yeah.
And I may be off on that. So anyway, Celsius in Earth's lower crust. These extreme conditions cause radioactive elements such as uranium and thorium to move upward. As they decayed, these elements released heat, and by rising towards the surface, they helped carry that heat away, allowing the lower crust to cool and harden over time.
According to the researchers, the discovery has far-reaching implications beyond understanding Earth's deep past. It could help guide the search for critical minerals that power today's technologies, including smartphones, electric vehicles, and renewable energy systems, and even aid the hunt for habitable planets beyond our solar system.
The same geologic processes that stabilized Earth's crust also transported valuable rare earth elements such as lithium, tin, and tungsten. Understanding how these elements moved billions of years ago, may help scientists locate new deposits today. The researchers also believe that these heat-driven processes may occur on other rocky planets, offering new clues for identifying worlds that could support life.
To make their conclusions, the team sampled rocks from the Alps in Europe and the southwestern United States, as well as examined published data from the scientific literature. Here's a, let me see, there was a chemical analysis done. We're not showing that because it's complicated.
Okay. All right, quote, stable continents are a prerequisite for habitability. But in order for them to gain that stability, they have to cool down, said Andrew Smythe, Associate Professor of Geosciences at Penn State and lead author on the paper. Continuing with the quote, in order to cool down, they have to move all these elements that produce heat, uranium, thorium, and potassium, towards the surface, because if these elements stay deep, they create heat and melt the crust and probably create instability, right?
Yeah.
Instability.
Instability, yeah. Smythe explained that Earth's modern continental crust began forming about 3 billion years ago. Before that, the crust was quite different, lacking the silicon-rich composition seen today. Scientists had long suspected that the melting of older crust helped form stable continental plates. But this new research reveals that the process required far higher temperatures than previously believed.
Smythe compared the process to forging steel. Quote, the metal is heated up until it becomes just soft enough so it can be shaped mechanically or by hammer blows. So like a blacksmith, right?
Yeah.
This process of deforming the metal under extreme temperatures realigns the structure of the metal and removes impurities, both of which strengthen the metal, culminating in the material's toughness that defines forged steel. In the same way, tectonic forces applied during the creation of mountain belts forged the continents. We showed that this forging of the crust requires a furnace capable of high temperatures, and we talked about that. So it's pretty. Yeah.
To make their conclusions, the team sampled rocks from the Alps in Europe and southwestern United States. They analyzed whole rock chemical data from hundreds of samples of meta-sedimentary and meta-igneous rocks, the types of rocks that make up much of the lower crust, and then categories of samples by their peak metamorphic temperatures when rocks undergo physical and chemical changes while remaining mostly solid.
So those mountains in the southwestern United States, that would probably be the
Rockies,
Eastern Sierra, the Rockies, Wasatch, Wasatch Front.
Well, Wasatch is kind of central. The tail end of the Rockies, like in El Paso.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, and maybe
Sierra
South
Madres,
So southern, because Colorado is considered central, right?
Yeah.
Mountain area, yeah. Okay, so where am I at here? The researchers distinguished?
Yep.
The researchers distinguished between high temperature and ultra high temperature conditions. Smye and his co-author, Peter Kellerman, professor of Earth and Environmental Sciences at Columbia University, noticed a striking consistency to the compositions of rocks that had melted at temperatures above 90 degrees or 900 degrees Celsius. They had significantly lower concentrations of uranium and thorium compared to those in rocks that had undergone melting at lower temperatures.
Okay. Well, it's rare to see a consistent signal in rocks form so many different places, he said. It's one of those eureka moments that you think, nature's trying to tell us something here. He explained that melting in most rock types occurs when the temperature gets above 650 Celsius, or a little over 6 times as hot as boiling water. Typically, the further into the crust you go, the temperature increases by about 20 degrees Celsius for every kilometer of depth. Since the base of most stable continental plates is about 30 to 40 kilometers thick, temperatures of 900 Celsius are not typical and require them to rethink the temperature structure.
Smye explained that earlier in Earth's history, the amount of heat produced from the radioactive elements that made up the crust, uranium, thorium, and potassium, was about to double what it is today. Quote, there was more heat available in the system, he said. Today, we wouldn't expect as much stable crust to be produced because there's less heat available to forge it.
He added that understanding how these ultra-high temperature reactions can mobilize elements in the Earth's crust has wider implications for understanding the distribution and concentration of critical minerals, a highly sought-after group of metals that have proved challenging to mine and locate. If scientists can understand the reactions that first redistributed the valuable elements, theoretically, they could better locate new deposits and materials today. There you go.
Okay.
Share this with any family members who are miners.
Geologists. Yeah, they would love this stuff.
Yeah, well, let's send it to Tony. We'll send it to Tony.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
All right,
folks. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.